Hello everybody, this is Sarah from Flippany, and I'm just making this video because I know that a lot of the paperwork that we ask you to fill out for your site is a little bit confusing. So I wanted to give you this guide to follow. If you ever have any confusion or need some help filling out the sheets, you can refer to this video and it will give you hopefully all the information you need. So the first one that we're going to fill out is the SFSP Site Supervisor's Record of Meals Served form. So this is actually a monthly form. We ask you to fill this out once a month for all of the information for June, July, and August. But the first thing I want to reiterate is that we actually need 2 of these forms from your site each month because there's a separate form for each meal type you serve. So for example, if my site serves lunch and snack, I need a separate one for lunch, circle it, and one for PM snack, say. And if you serve perhaps breakfast and lunch, etc., you circle at the top the type of meal that you are serving. But we need to make sure that you have 2 of these each month completely filled out. So we're gonna start at the top. The sponsor is us, is Flippany. So you're just gonna write Flippany at the top. Our agreement number, though we can always fill that in later if you forget, is 0309. And here's where you write the name of your site. So I'm doing a little made-up site, Food Inc., and I will be the site supervisor, so I'm gonna write my own name up there. And we're gonna make sure that this is for the month of June. Okay, so over here in the left column, we wanna write the dates. So the first date that most of you started serving was the 8th, which was a Monday, but whatever your starting date is, you can put it up here and make sure it aligns with the day of the week that you started. And so we're gonna start going down column by column to make sure that we understand what each one of these means to make it easier for you guys to fill out. So the first column is number of meals delivered or prepared. And to find this number, you would look at the delivery ticket that the caterer's driver dropped off to you that day and say my site got 100 meals delivered that day. Now, the second column is number of meals left over from the previous day. I want to explain that lunch, because it is a hot meal, cannot be left over. We are not allowed to keep hot meals over from the day before. So if you are a lunch sheet, that number is always going to be 0. Now, snack can be left over, say, but it has to have every component of the snack. It can't just be the milk. It can't just be the granola bar. It has to be a full meal, and only that can be counted as a leftover meal from the previous day. But we need to remember that lunch cannot be left over because it is hot. Now, number of first meals served to the children. To get this number, this is the number that one of your staff is standing at the end of your line while you're serving. They're tallying or using the clicker to record the exact number of meals that are served to your children that day. So say for example, this first day I served 97 meals. Now, number of second meals served to the children, this can get a little tricky, but the official rule is that only 2% of your total meals can be served as second meals to the children. That's actually a very small number. So for my site that has 100, only 2 meals can be second meals. And that can get a little unfair. Which kid gets a second meal? It's better to use the share table rather than use second meals. But you're allowed to have up to 2%, so I'm allowed to have 2. But let's say this day, nobody got a second meal. So I'm gonna put 0. Number of test meals will always be 0 because we test the full tray. We don't actually test individual meals. So that is going to be a 0. Number of damaged meals hopefully will always be 0, but if you ever have damaged meals, please call us, send a picture of the damaged meals so we can speak to the caterer and make sure it doesn't happen again. But hopefully that will be 0, but if there is a number, you can fill in the number of damaged meals. And now to fill out number of leftover meals, we just look, we had 100, we served 97, so there were 3 left over. And obviously our goal is to have 0 left over. So if you find that you have a number that is consistent each day, even if it's a strange number like 97, if you see that you have 97 children each day, order 97 meals. Don't order 100 because you're gonna keep having 3 left over, and that's no good. So you would know how to fill out the rest of the sheet. Day by day, you transfer the numbers. It's easier to do it daily rather than waiting until the end of the month and scrambling to remember how many you served this day, how many you served that day. Just each day after you serve the meal, come and record the number in this sheet, and then at the end of the month, it will be completely done. And make sure you're doing the same for snack over here. So by the end, once everything is filled out, I've made an example one for you. It's gonna look like this. You have all of your information at the top, circle the meal type, say the month, all of your dates on the left-hand side, all of your meals delivered, how many you served, and how many you had left over. And remember, we want that number to be as close to 0 as possible. Call us to reduce your numbers if you need to. And remember to always sign and date at the bottom, because if you don't sign it and date it, we have to ask you to send it to us again. So make sure you remember that so we don't have to inconvenience you by asking you again. So hopefully this video helped you to know how to fill out this sheet. If you have any other questions, you can always call the office and we'll answer any questions you have. Thank you so much. Bye.